Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today. As always, today's topic is going to be bad boys. I was asked to speak on another man's podcast tomorrow about bad boys. What attracts women to bad boys? Well, before we begin, smash that like button and subscribe. What does attract? Do it now. What does attract women to bad boys? The jailbird, the drug pusher, the criminal, the guy in jail. There are a lot of men in jail that have girlfriends on the outside, but they didn't get these girlfriends on the outside until they went to jail. Why are women attracted to these bad boys? Well, for one thing, they can't be tamed. They do their own thing. They do what's best for them. Well, maybe not what's best for them, otherwise they wouldn't be in jail. But they do what they want to do. They have their own purpose, their own mission, regardless of what you think of their purpose or mission. It may be to rob a bank. It may be to kill someone. It may be to kill several people. It may be a member of a gang. It may be mafia-type activity. But these men have a certain air about them, a certain power they carry with them, because the center of their life is themselves. And these women know that if they stay close to these men, that they will survive because these men are survivors. They will do whatever they have to do to survive. They have the three dark triad traits, the three dark traits. Machiavellian traits, they're called. I'm not sure what they are right now. I have to look them up for tomorrow's podcast. But it all comes down to self-preservation. So this girl knows if she's with this guy, she's going to make it, no matter what happens. Now, does she consciously think this? Of course she doesn't. But it's evolutionarily programmed into her mind, the same as if you're walking down the street and you see a young lady who's fertile and beautiful and looks like she could bear children very well, you are attracted to her, regardless of what her age is. You may never admit it, but you are. Because first off, you don't know how old she is. Some women are young, underage, and they look like they're 22 or 23, and some women are older and look younger. You just can't tell. But you're initially attracted to her because that's evolutionarily programmed within you. It's neither good nor bad. Thinking makes it so. And depending on what culture you live in, they look at it differently. In some cultures, the age of consent is 14, like in South America, Central America, certain places over in Asia and some of those countries over there, it's even younger than that. Now, that's not my cup of tea, but that's the way it is, okay? It's not up to us to condemn other cultures for their beliefs. I'm sure they look at many things we do over here that they can't understand why we do it. Our morals have declined greatly here in the U.S., but that's a whole nother topic. I won't get off on that. Let's go back to bad boys. The bad boy is a survivor, and he does what he has to do to survive. At one time in my life, I was a classic bad boy. Riding Harley Davidsons, fighting, doing drugs, partying. I wasn't a thief, but I did what I wanted to do. And I had all the women. They chased me. I had a steady woman. She knew I slept around with other girls, but I always came home to her. So she tolerated it. Why is that? When everyone will tell you that all women want a good guy. Well, they don't really want a good guy, but they certainly want others to think that that's what they want, is a good guy, a good man. Well, what is your definition of a good man? Your definition of a good man may be different and is from what her definition of a good man is. What she's attracted to and what is good for her are two different things. But that depends on, too, what you look at as being good for her from her evolutionarily programmed perspective. What is good for her is that she will survive and that she will bear children, and those children will survive because she is with a man who's strong enough to do what he has to do to make it, to survive. So she knows if she's with him, she will survive. So in reality, that is what is good for her per her evolutionarily programmed response, reaction, whatever you want to call it. So in reality, that is what's good for her. Now, that doesn't have to make logical sense, and we try to make logical sense from the perspective of today's society. But the reptilian brain goes back eons, thousands and thousands of years, and that still runs our life. Sometimes we can override that, but more times than not, we don't override it, and it drives us blindly from the motivation of our desires, our pre-programmed evolutionary desires. And that's what happens a lot of times when people drink and they do drugs. Their inhibitions lower, their rational, logical mind does not, guide them anymore, and they do things that they normally wouldn't do if their thinking mind was engaged. But when you drink, your thinking mind disengages, and you act on more primordial instincts instead of using your logical mind, which adapts itself to the society and the culture. So the bad boy, many times, he's still going on that reptilian brain, and women are attracted to that because deep down inside of them, they want to be safe. They know they're not safe unless they have a man who can protect them. Contrary to what they believe in this society today, they feel safe, and they are up to a certain degree more so than if they were out in the wild, in the jungle. But the reality is, if the shit goes down and things go to hell and the systems fall apart, which have been set up by men, they are not safe unless they're with a man such as that, a man with the 3 dark triad traits. A man who is strong, a man that will do what he has to do to survive. And thus, she survives along with her offspring. That's all I got time for today. I'm kind of having a hard time speaking because I breathed some dust on the job the other day, so it's kind of wearing me down. But I hope that's been of value today, of value to you. Share it with a friend. If you'd like to get my help personally, marksinspiration.com is my website. And if you'd like me to comment or to address an issue you have, leave a comment in the comment section or email me. I'll put my email address in the link. And check out my books on Amazon. I'll put that link in the description also. And I'm out of here. Have a great day.